Hello, welcome back to the art room with Mr. Eck. Today is a very special day. We are going to be sculpting with clay. And what your project is going to be is we're going to be making initial plates. What I mean by that is we're going to be making a mostly flat artwork that comes up off the base a little bit, featuring your first initial. So my first name is actually Travis, believe it or not. Teachers have first names. So I could do a T for mine, T for Travis, but I think I'm going to do an E for Eck because most people know me as Mr. Eck. So I'll be doing an E for my example. You can do your first initial or the initial of your last name, that's fine. So let's just get right to it.
Alright, so for my in-class kids, I'm going to be giving them about a half-inch thick slab of clay to work with. If you're working at home, you can take your clay and use a roller or just your hand to smash it where it's nice and solid and flat. So, first thing we got to do is decide what shape you want your initial plate to be. You could cut out a triangle, you could cut out a circle, you could cut out a heart shape, really whatever shape you want. I think I'm going to go for a circle for mine. So I'm going to cut out a circle with my sculpting tool. If you're at home, you can use a plastic utensil knife or a popsicle stick or something like that to cut your clay with. So now I've got a circle to work with, and then I've got all this extra clay, so I'm going to wad that up. I'm going to use that for some other stuff. So first, before we add our initial to this, we need to put some kind of texture on this. So there's a lot of options. You could use your knife tool. You could use a pencil by pressing down, making circles, or you could press down a pencil by making put it like this to make stripes. Any number of things. In class, I've recently got some texture tools like this, like rollers. So I want to use one of my new rollers. But if you don't have this, if you're working at home, just work with what you do have. So first off, I'm going to press this down. That looks pretty fun. I'm going to do that all the way across. That looks pretty neat. And then just to give it a border, I'm going to do a series of circles with my pencil here. Don't worry, you can wash the clay off your pencil when you're done. I'm not pushing all the way through it, just pressing down. That looks pretty cool. Alright, now I'm going to take some of my clay, I'm going to pinch it off like this, and I'm going to press it down onto the table to get it about as thick as my slab was, about a half inch. And then you need to cut out your initial with your whatever your cutting tool is. So again, I'm going to be making an E for Mr. Eck. So just try to draw whatever your initial is and cut it out as best you can. Alright, this next part's real important. We have to do a certain kind of process to make sure that our initial doesn't fall off our base. I'm going to put the E on top of here. But before I do, I'm going to do a process called scoring. Scoring is when you cut lines into the bottom of whatever it is you're joining to another piece of clay. And then I'm going to get some water. And I'm going to use my fingertip and just wet that back of the E. And that will work kind of like a glue and stick this to my background. So I'm going to press down without smashing it. I'm just firmly pressing down to try to get that water and that scored bottom of my E to blend into the bottom of the base. Alright, now the only other thing to do is, you can add other things to the background if you want to, but you definitely need to decorate your initial. So some kind of stripes or dots, or you could just poke it with something. You could use the edge of your pencil to, actually that's a pretty good idea. I'm gonna do around the border of my E with my pencil tip with the lead, and then I'm gonna make some lines with my knife tool. That's what I'm gonna be doing. So I'm gonna do that in time lapse to save a little time.
Alright, and here's my finished initial plate. I think it turned out really cool. So once this dries, I'll put it in the kiln. It will come out white and really hard, like hard as glass, and then we'll be able to paint it, and that's when it's going to get super duper fun. So this is the end of the sculpting step. I hope you enjoy making your initial plates, and man, this is going to be something cool to have for a long time, and you'll enjoy this for a long time. So alrighty, I'll see you guys next time in the art room.